Hello guys, I'm Paul McWhorter, and today we will be reviewing the SmartWay PL11B digital scales. They come in a very nice box. I was impressed with how well they're packaged. These scales are very, pretty precise and delicate instruments, and so I was impressed with the packaging. The package arrived to me safely, and I'm sure it would to you too. Very well boxed up and very well packaged. We've got the unit down here. We'll be taking a look at it. When we take it out of the box and look at it, we see that there's basically two buttons. There's the on-off 0 button, and then there's the unit button. And so obviously to turn it on, we're going to hit the on button. But one of the things that's important in scales like this is that you want to turn them on at the sort of 0 point. And so if I'm going to just say measure this pin, when I turn it on, I should have nothing on the scale. And then when it measures the weight of the pin, it will simply add that to 0. So let's turn this on, and you can see that it's booting up, and then it comes up at 0. If I put the pin on it, it weighs it at 0.4 ounces. If I take it off, it goes back to 0, put it on, 0.4, take it off, and then put it back, 0.4. So you can see that these scales are very precise. The readings aren't jumping around, and even if we're measuring something relatively lightweight like a pen, you can see that it measures it very accurately. Now, one of the things that I want to show you about these scales, it's really a very powerful feature because I use scales as part of a lot of different things that I do. I'm really into hydroponic gardening, and I have a hydroponic greenhouse, and therefore I need very accurate scales to measure the chemicals out. And when I'm measuring different things, I need different containers. Well, the nice thing is you can measure things in any container because of this auto 0 feature. And so let me show you. To turn this off, we can hold the button down and hold it down for a second, it goes off. Now watch, I'm going to put the pin on here, and now I'm going to turn it on, and it will 0 the scale to 0 out the weight of the pin or the weight of whatever was on there to begin with, and now it only weighs whatever increment is put on there. And so now let's put another pin on there, and what you can see is it measures 0.4 because it's ignoring the weight of whatever was on there to begin with. And that's a very, very powerful feature, and let me show you why. So we're going to come in, and let's say I want to measure the weight of a glass of water. Well, I want the weight of the water, not the glass. So what do? I put the glass on here. In this case, it's a coffee cup. I'm going to turn it on, and then what you can see is, you can see that it comes in and it comes up reading 0. So it has zeroed out the weight of the cup. And then if I come in and pour water in, it is giving me 7.5 ounces. That is the weight of the water, not the weight of the cup. If I wanted to weigh both of them, I would turn it back off. I would turn it on. Comes back to 0. I put it on, and now instead of 7.5, it's reading 20.1 ounces. The reason it's reading 20.1 ounces is now it's telling me the weight of the water and the cup. Okay, so I can get the weight of the cup, I can get the weight of the water, or I can get the weight of the water in the cup. Just remember that when you turn it on, it will 0 out whatever is on there. And so if you want to measure something in a container without the weight of the container, what you would do, let's do it again, just to make sure that this is clear, because you want to make sure that you understand this. Okay, so if I wanted to ignore the weight of the cup, I will put the cup on there and turn it on, and it'll come up reading 0, meaning that it ignores the weight of the cup. And then when I pour the water in, it is telling me only the weight of the water. And pretty impressive. We turned it off, we turned it back on, off, all these other things, and it's still reading exactly 7.5 ounces. Let's try this for the sake of illustration. Let's turn it off now. And you can see that I have been working in ounces. Okay, I've been working in ounces, but for a lot of different applications you want different units. And so let's look at this. If this is just reading 20.1 ounces exactly, if I hit the unit key, What I'm getting now is I'm getting 57 or 570 milliliters. And so I think what that's probably assuming is if this were all water, it would be 570 milliliters of water. And so basically it'll give you an approximate volume of water if you're measuring just the weight of water. And so that might be a cool feature for certain things. Let's see if I go here. It's going to give me grams, and that makes sense, 570 grams, because water weighs about 1 gram per milliliter, and so they're just kind of using that math on you. But you can see that we can measure in grams, which is useful because sometimes we get things that call for that. Helps us from not having to do the conversion. And if I hit it again, I have a really neat feature, which is pounds and ounces. Sometimes I would I need 1.5 pounds of something. Well, I would like 1 pound in ounces. That makes it useful, 1 pound in ounces. Or you can have all ounces if you go again. So there I've got 20.1 ounces. Or I can go back and I can have 1 pound 4 ounces. And I found that it's hard to do the math in my head when I'm trying to do something. Yeah, I'm good in math, but it's hard for me to do the math in my head while I'm trying to think of other things. So I like this ability to be able to measure in pounds and ounces or just straight ounces all the way up. I have really been impressed with this unit. I'm impressed with how solidly it's built. I'm impressed with how accurately it makes the measurements, and I'm impressed with how reproducibly it makes the measurements. I consider this to be a great product, and I'm going to be looking forward to using it in the kitchen, using it in the greenhouse, using it in all types of different hobbies. Thanks a lot. We will talk to you